Have you ever wondered why certain people walk through life as if the universe has been carved against them? Why their path twists and bends like a river, learning its own shape, while others seem to travel in almost straight lines? Have you ever felt that your struggles were too heavy for one lifetime, or your lessons too deep for your age, as though your soul entered this world carrying knowledge and wounds from long before your birth? Some ancient traditions say that a few individuals arrive marked at birth, carrying symbols on their hands, feet, or body that reveal a story older than time. These signs are not meant to frighten or elevate anyone. Instead, they are reminders that the soul has traveled far and that not every soul comes to earth for the same reason. Some come to rest, some come to learn, and some come to illuminate the path for others. The Buddha often taught that each being carries seeds from previous lives, seeds that bloom in this one as tendencies, challenges, insights, and inner callings. Though the Buddha did not teach palmistry, ancient Buddhist cultures believed that enlightened beings, bodhisattvas, and spiritually seasoned souls sometimes arrive with subtle marks. These marks whisper of karmic memory, spiritual readiness, and a mission that slowly unfolds as the person grows. This teaching is not meant to divide people into categories, but to remind those who feel different, those who have suffered profoundly, and those who sense a quiet strength inside them, that there may be a deeper reason the path of life has taken such unusual turns. If these teachings resonate, even faintly, they may speak directly to the story your soul has been writing long before you were born. The ancient belief, physical marks of the old soul. Across ancient India, China, Greece, Egypt, and the stories of Buddhist sages, there was a quiet, shared understanding. Some souls arrive in this world already carrying the imprint of countless lifetimes. These marks were never mere ornaments. They were echoes of wisdom, symbols left by karma, readiness, and destiny itself. In India, sages called it Samudrika Shastra, the science of reading the body as a map of the soul. Every line, every subtle marking, was thought to tell a story of journeys taken, lessons learned, and virtues cultivated over lifetimes: compassion, patience, courage, insight. In China, spiritual scholars spoke of heaven, leaving signs on those meant to grow through hardship. Hands, faces, and features were described as maps of the soul. Each line a road the spirit had traveled before entering this life. Even in Buddhist lore, the Buddha himself was said to be born with marks of karmic preparation, not symbols of superiority, but of readiness, purity, compassion, and a mind poised for awakening. Later, followers believed that while not every soul would carry such signs, those with profound karmic missions might bear subtler forms, small whispers of purpose written on their very being. These marks are more than symbols. They are evidence of a soul's journey, a hint that nothing in life is random. The trials you endure, the strength you discover, and the resilience you carry are all reflections of a deeper purpose. Perhaps you've met someone who, after heartbreak, rises wiser and gentler than before. Perhaps you've been that person. Perhaps your hands, your scars, even your quiet knowing, tell a story older than you can imagine, a story that began long before this life, waiting for you to recognize it. Why marked souls struggle more? If you have ever felt that your life is a relentless series of tests, each arriving just as you recover from the last, you may wonder whether there is a deeper purpose behind it all. In Buddhist teachings, suffering is one of life's greatest teachers. Not punishment, not cruelty, teaching. The Buddha explained that hardship strengthens the mind just as fire tempers steel. Ancient wisdom adds a deeper layer. Some souls deliberately choose more complex paths because they carry old karma to resolve, or because they have trained over many lifetimes to face greater lessons. Marked souls are believed to encounter more detours, heartbreaks, and inner battles because their spiritual muscles are meant to grow strong. Their resilience is not accidental. It is cultivated. Just as a tree growing on a cliff develops roots deeper than one in soft soil, a soul that chooses a difficult life cultivates insight, compassion, courage, and wisdom more profoundly. Imagine two people learning to surf. One trains on calm waters and thinks progress comes easily, yet the first strong wave throws them off balance. Another trains on choppy waters, falls repeatedly, but gradually develops the instincts, strength, and awareness to ride any wave. The struggle is never a sign of weakness. It is preparation for a soul's extraordinary mission. Many marked individuals feel different from childhood. They may mature early, sensing emotions and truths long before those around them. They may feel responsibility for others, guided by something unseen, protected in impossible moments, or drawn toward a purpose without a name. It is common for such souls to face betrayal, loss, illness, or disappointment. These experiences are not meant to break them. They are meant to awaken them. Every heartbreak hones intuition. Every failure sharpens clarity. Every loss deepens compassion. Each time they rise higher, steadier, and wiser than before. Ancient teachings remind us that marked souls are never truly alone, even in moments of loneliness. Invisible forces, karmic guardians, ancestors, past life connections, and even the guidance of the Buddha quietly support them, leading them to the right people, opportunities, and lessons at precisely the right moment. The path may be difficult, but their protection is unwavering. Those who attempt to harm or deceive marked souls often encounter swift karmic consequences, not from the soul itself, but from these invisible guardians. If you carry the marks of an old soul, your path may be challenging, your lessons profound, yet every trial has prepared you for something greater. You are not here by accident. You are the light bearer, a soul entrusted to carry illumination into the lives of others, to transform suffering into wisdom, and to remind the world that hope and compassion endure. Every challenge was a tool used to craft your spiritual strength. Now that you understand the purpose behind the pressure, it is time to recognize the imprints your soul carried into this life, the sacred marks that tell the story of your purpose. Sacred marks, clues to your soul's journey. For thousands of years, people have studied the body as a map of the soul, reading its lines, shapes, and subtle markings to understand destiny, character, and karmic patterns. Each feature, whether etched in the hands, the feet, or elsewhere, carries echoes of past lives, lessons learned, and challenges overcome. Certain signs, especially those present from birth, were believed to mark a soul with profound wisdom and spiritual readiness. Across cultures, these symbols take many forms, yet their essence is the same. They signify depth, resilience, and the presence of a soul returning with purpose. Sign 1. The Buddha eye symbol. The Buddha eye on the thumb is a sign that immediately draws attention to the power of perception, not just in the external world, but within. This rare mark, present in roughly 2 to 3% of the world population, signals an extraordinary level of awareness, often rooted in past life experiences. Those who carry this sign frequently seem, from a young age, to sense the undercurrents of emotion around them, reading intentions, moods, and truths that others cannot see. It is not psychic in a fantastical sense, but a cultivated insight honed over lifetimes. Life tends to place these individuals in situations where their intuition is tested repeatedly, where their perception must guide not only themselves, but others through complex decisions. People with this mark often bear a quiet responsibility, a gravity that others feel but cannot name. They are drawn toward leadership, not for recognition, but because circumstances consistently demand their discernment. The Buddha eye reflects a soul trained to see the invisible lines connecting action to consequence. The challenges these individuals face are rarely trivial. Often, they must navigate betrayal, loss, or moral dilemmas that force them to trust their inner vision above all else. Yet, they are repeatedly protected. Opportunities, encounters, and moments of guidance appear at exactly the right time, as though the universe itself bows in recognition of their path. The mark also signifies responsibility. Such individuals are called to bear burdens not lightly, but purposefully. Life is not meant to shield them from difficulty, but to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and resilience. The Buddha eye teaches that seeing clearly is inseparable from acting wisely. Awareness without moral grounding becomes hollow. Those with this sign gradually learn to balance insight with patience, action with discernment, and leadership with humility. Metaphorically, the thumb is the anchor of the hand, providing grip and direction. Those with the Buddha eye on the thumb anchor their lives in deep awareness, guiding not just themselves, but the currents of influence they touch. Every challenge, betrayal, and test of faith becomes a lens through which clarity sharpens. Over decades, this intuitive clarity blossoms into a profound vision, one that can perceive beyond immediate struggle, recognizing the karmic threads weaving the tapestry of life. It is a sign that the soul is prepared, and that no matter how turbulent the world, its bearer will navigate with vision, patience, and unwavering discernment. Sign 2. The Prajna boat symbol. The Prajna boat is a subtle marking nestled between the lifeline and the mind line, an echo of a promise made by the soul. In the highest wisdom traditions, the boat represents the Dharma, the teachings that ferry beings across the vast, turbulent ocean of samsara, the cycle of suffering, to the peaceful other shore, enlightenment. This mark suggests that the bearer carries a profound karmic responsibility, a vow taken in a past life to return not for personal rest, but to serve as a guide. It is the mark of a spiritual ferryman, and it is extremely rare, appearing in only about 1 to 2% of the world population. Individuals with the Prajna boat symbol often feel a quiet restlessness from an early age, sensing that the world is at once familiar and strange, as though they are waiting for a greater task. Their path is shaped by sudden storms and shifting currents that test their courage and resolve. As the old saying goes, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, Through turbulent waters and unrelenting tempests, they develop patience, inner strength, and the wisdom to navigate even the fiercest challenges. Early obstacles serve to cultivate resilience and insight, preparing them to guide other souls safely to a new shore, the shore of enlightenment, free from suffering. The life of a Prajna boat soul is marked by periods of upheaval, financial setbacks, relational betrayals, or other trials that challenge stability. These experiences are not random punishments, but deliberate lessons, designed to forge the soul's capacity to endure pressure, discern true guidance from deception, and act with compassion even in the face of adversity. Yet the boat remains steady. This symbol signifies unwavering protection, often appearing as timely assistance, fortuitous encounters, or guidance that seems coincidental, but is subtly orchestrated by the universe. Those who bear it learn that they are never truly meant to sink. The trials they face refine their character, shaping them into vessels capable of holding steady and guiding others through storms toward the light of the other shore. Every challenge, every test carries purpose. It trains the soul to navigate life with skill, courage, and deep compassion, fulfilling the sacred vow that the Prajna boat embodies. Sign 3. The blessing triangle symbol. The blessing triangle is a subtle geometric mark in the center of the palm, symbolizing protection, karmic merit, and spiritual fortitude. It reflects a soul carrying seeds of virtue from past lives, nurtured through acts of compassion, integrity, and selflessness. Rare, appearing in roughly 3 to 4% of the world population, it signals spiritual readiness and alignment with karmic purpose. Setbacks, whether betrayal, illness, or emotional hardship, are not punishments, but lessons shaping character, discernment, and inner strength. Those with the blessing triangle often notice that opportunities, guidance, and support appear at precisely the right moment, as though the universe itself conspires to aid their path. Life for a blessing. Triangle soul is a delicate dance between challenge and grace, each step refining wisdom, resilience, and moral courage. The triangle's 3 points mirror harmony, balance, and interconnectedness. They remind the bearer that inner wisdom, ethical action, and external guidance are inseparable, together forming a resilient foundation capable of withstanding adversity. These souls are naturally drawn to service, spiritual practice, and roles where their insight uplifts and guides others. Reflection and awareness deepen their appreciation of the subtle protections and blessings surrounding them. In essence, the blessing triangle marks a soul cultivating qualities necessary for awakening: compassion, clarity, and moral fortitude. It is also considered a sign of karmic reward. Those who bear it are said to receive extraordinary blessings in the second half of life, the fruits of virtue and good deeds sown in earlier years. Every challenge strengthens them. Every act of integrity compounds their karmic merit, and every moment of grace teaches them to rise again. Sign 4. The Bodhi leaf symbol. The Bodhi leaf is a delicate, almost imperceptible mark near the end of the lifeline, symbolizing spiritual awakening, clarity, and the unfolding of enlightenment. Those who carry this mark are often drawn to contemplation, meditation, and spiritual practice, even amid the pressures of ordinary life. The Bodhi leaf is extremely rare, appearing in less than 1% of people. If it appears on both hands, it is considered exceptionally rare, perhaps occurring in only 1 in several thousand. This mark indicates a soul with profound karmic preparation, virtue, and spiritual readiness, entrusted with extraordinary capacity to transform suffering into wisdom and to guide and heal others. This mark shows a soul that has endured profound trials in the first half of life, learning to transform suffering into wisdom and compassion. Through these experiences, they develop the extraordinary capacity to heal and guide others. Their spiritual foundation is rooted in belief in karma, virtue, and a natural inclination to do good. They are prepared to turn personal insight into the transformation of those around them. From a young age, individuals with the Bodhi leaf often display curiosity about the nature of life and a subtle detachment from purely material concerns. Life may bring deep loss, betrayal, or hardship, yet these experiences are not meant to break them. They serve as catalysts for self-transformation, teaching patience, resilience, and the ability to remain centered in chaos. Every setback hones their discernment, strengthens their character, and deepens their compassion. The Bodhi leaf also signifies that as long as they maintain integrity, cultivate virtue, and act from a place of compassion, they are supported by unseen forces such as karmic guardians, ancestors, and the natural law of karma. These forces ensure they can always rise again, no matter how great the challenge. Individuals with this sign often become sources of guidance and inspiration for others. Their calm presence, insight, and moral clarity offer support in times of crisis. Ordinary experiences become profound lessons, and personal transformation naturally extends outward, enabling them to uplift, guide, and heal those around them. The Bodhi leaf marks a life where suffering is transmuted into wisdom, resilience, and the power to transform others. It is a reminder that true spiritual awakening is earned through trials, cultivated through virtue, and expressed through service. Those who carry this mark are rare indeed, and those with it on both hands are among the rarest of souls, entrusted with extraordinary karmic responsibility and spiritual potential. Sign 5. The mystic cross symbol. Many souls choose to reincarnate in this life to fulfill significant karmic missions, returning to guide, protect, or influence others in ways that shape the world. A strong sign of such souls is the mystic cross, appearing where major lines converge in the center of the palm. This rare emblem, seen in roughly 1 to 2% of the world's population, signals a soul carrying profound responsibilities, tested by life to cultivate resilience, insight, and moral courage. In ancient Indian palmistry, the mystic cross marks the convergence of major karmic lines, revealing a soul returning with lessons from past lives. Those who bear this mark are destined to face trials that challenge integrity, wisdom, and patience. Hardships are deliberate, not punitive, designed to prepare the soul for its dharmic mission. Protection and guidance, through intuition, timing, or unseen forces, ensure the soul is never truly alone on this path. In Egyptian traditions, the mystic cross was interpreted as a mark of divine alignment and purpose. Life's challenges are viewed as rites of passage, refining the soul's capacity to transform suffering into insight and personal strength into guidance for others. Individuals with this mark often experience life as a series of high-stakes tests, yet subtle support and timely encounters help them recover from betrayal, loss, or failure, strengthening their ability to lead, teach, and inspire. When the mystic cross appears on one hand, it signals rare karmic responsibility and spiritual potential. If present on both hands, it is exceptionally rare, perhaps appearing in only one in several thousand people worldwide, reflecting a life of extraordinary destiny and transformative influence. Metaphorically, the mystic cross represents the crossroads of life, where past karma, present choices, and future possibilities converge. It is a call to awaken, a reminder that every challenge is a stepping stone toward greater insight, and a mark that the bearer's path, though demanding, is guided by unseen forces toward a higher purpose. Sign 6. The M symbol. The M sign is rare, appearing in roughly 2 to 3% of the world's population, highlighting individuals uniquely prepared to navigate complex karmic paths. Its scarcity underscores the special responsibility and spiritual sensitivity carried by these souls. Those with the M sign often possess an innate understanding of human nature, sensing unspoken truths in conversations, relationships, and situations. From a young age, they notice patterns of behavior others might overlook and feel compelled to act with integrity, even when it comes at personal cost. The M is not merely symbolic. It represents the alignment of inner vision with outer action, the convergence of karmic lessons that prepare a soul to move wisely through the world. Life for these individuals frequently presents moral crossroads. Decisions are rarely simple, and repeated opportunities to compromise values serve as training grounds for spiritual and practical wisdom. Ancient teachings suggest that the M signifies a soul returning with experience from previous lifetimes, equipped to exercise discernment, patience, and moral courage in situations that might overwhelm others. Even amid adversity, these individuals demonstrate a remarkable ability to remain centered, recognizing that actions guided by insight yield more profound results than impulsive choices. The energy of the M sign also relates to leadership, though not in the conventional sense. Those who carry it are drawn toward influence that nurtures and protects rather than dominates. Their guidance is subtle, often offered without fanfare, inspiring loyalty and trust through the clarity of intention. Life teaches that influence carries responsibility, and the consequences of choices ripple far beyond immediate perception. The mark reinforces the Buddhist principle that moral action aligned with awareness is the foundation of true power. In daily life, the M sign manifests as heightened intuition and empathy. Individuals may naturally step into roles where honesty, strategy, and insight are required, mediating conflicts, advising friends, or leading projects. The mark reminds them that the journey is as much inward as outward. Mastery of the self enables mastery of circumstance. Metaphorically, the M represents a bridge connecting past experiences, present challenges, and future potential. It is both a call and a compass, a rare symbol marking a soul capable of navigating complexity, offering guidance not only to themselves, but also to those whose lives intersect with theirs. Sign 7. The crescent moon symbol. The crescent moon sign appears as a crescent shape and is considered very rare, appearing in roughly 1 to 2% of the world's population. Individuals with this mark often experience life with an amplified perception of emotions, energy, and subtle influences in their surroundings. From childhood, they may feel deeply connected to patterns of human behavior, cycles of nature, or the rhythm of life itself. This sensitivity can manifest as intuition, artistic insight, or a natural inclination towards spiritual practice. The crescent moon marks a soul tuned to higher awareness, attuned to the unseen currents that guide learning, growth, and transformation. Life for these individuals is often emotionally intense as they absorb the moods and energies of those around them, sensing suffering, joy, or tension before it is expressed. While challenging, this sensitivity cultivates extraordinary empathy. The mark encourages the development of boundaries, self-awareness, and discernment, transforming spiritual sensitivity into wisdom and practical insight. Ancient teachings suggest that this sign reflects a soul returning to refine its spiritual faculties, balancing inner perception with outer action, intuition with practical understanding. The crescent also reflects cycles, the waxing and waning of experiences, emotions, and opportunities. Life flows in distinct phases, with periods of challenge followed by renewal and insight. Those who bear it learn patience, mindfulness, and reflection, echoing Buddhist teachings on impermanence. Metaphorically, the crescent moon mirrors the moon's quiet illumination in darkness, guiding the individual to bring clarity, insight, and gentle strength to themselves and others. It is a reminder that spiritual sensitivity is a rare gift, and mastering its power brings resilience, wisdom, and the capacity to illuminate the world around them. Sign 8. The Lotus symbol. Less than 2% of the world's population carry the Lotus sign, a subtle floral shape most potent when found near the center of the palm, the rarest location for this mark, according to ancient palmistry traditions. In ancient India, it was seen as a sign of accumulated virtue and spiritual refinement, a soul carrying the results of compassion, integrity, and selflessness cultivated across many lifetimes. Egyptian teachings regarded a similar mark as a symbol of divine protection and alignment with cosmic order, suggesting a soul destined to transform its own struggles into guidance for others. In Chinese palmistry, the lotus was interpreted as a reflection of inner harmony and moral balance, a life where resilience, awareness, and virtue naturally attract opportunities for spiritual growth and service. Those who bear the lotus sign often face challenges early and intensely, yet these experiences do not defeat them. They shape them. Betrayal, illness, loss, or disappointment are not punishments, but the soil in which insight and empathy take root. Life teaches them patience, discernment, and the quiet power of endurance. Over time, they learn to rise above bitterness, fear, and confusion, cultivating the ability to transform personal suffering into wisdom and to guide others with calm and clarity. From childhood, lotus bearers are often drawn to reflection, service, and relationships that foster growth and balance. Their presence tends to attract the right people, opportunities, and guidance, not by force, but through the integrity, serenity, and light they naturally embody. Subtle yet powerful protections accompany them, ensuring that as long as they maintain willpower and moral integrity, they can always recover and rise stronger after setbacks. The lotus is both a symbol and a promise. It marks a life of spiritual refinement, resilience, and compassion. Like the flower rising unstained from muddy waters, those who carry it navigate life's challenges with grace, cultivating insight, clarity, and moral courage. Their growth is a quiet but profound gift, offering nourishment and guidance to all who cross their path. Sign 9. Ring finger, longer than index finger. Ancient traditions believe that the length of the ring finger is not merely an anatomical detail. It is a signature of the soul's journey. When the ring finger extends beyond the index finger, it marks a soul that has carried experiences across lifetimes, returning with a unique blend of intuition, creativity, and practical wisdom. Such individuals are innately attuned to the consequences of actions, not only in their own lives, but in the lives of those around them. From early life, these souls are drawn to situations that test discernment and integrity. Choices often arrive with weight and complexity, shaping their moral compass and teaching patience, empathy, and responsibility. Ancient Indian texts suggest that this trait indicates a soul prepared to balance personal ambition with ethical action, while Egyptian interpretations link it to leadership that harmonizes vision with care for the community. Across cultures, it is a sign of a soul called to influence and guide, not through domination, but through wisdom, example, and subtle insight. Less than 5% of the world's population carries this mark, highlighting its rarity. Those who bear it often find themselves naturally drawn to roles of guidance, teaching, mediating, or leading in ways that uplift others. Life places them at crossroads, where each decision deepens understanding, refines judgment, and strengthens character. The extended ring finger is, in essence, a map of the soul's capacity to perceive beyond the obvious, act with conscious responsibility, and transform insight into meaningful influence. Metaphorically, this mark bridges the heart and the hand, the inner vision and outward action. It is a testament to a soul returning with purpose, prepared to navigate complexity, illuminate paths for others, and weave a legacy of integrity, compassion, and discernment. Sign 10. Second toe, longer than big toe. Some souls choose to return with unmistakable markers of their inner strength, and one of the clearest appears not in the palm, but in the feet. When the second toe extends beyond the big toe, it is said to reveal a spirit shaped by trials, tempered by perseverance, and prepared to walk a path that demands courage. This physical detail has been quietly revered for centuries, not as a sign of power over others, but as a testament to a soul that keeps moving forward when others would falter. Those who carry this trait often realize early that their journey will not be ordinary. They are drawn toward choices that require initiative, responsibility, and unwavering integrity. Life tests them with challenges designed not to break them, but to activate the resilience they accumulated across lifetimes. Ancient Indian teachings describe this feature as the mark of a soul that advances through hardship with clarity of purpose. Egyptian interpretations associate it with leaders who guide through steadiness rather than force. In Chinese traditions, it reflects the ability to endure difficulty while maintaining balance and foresight. This alignment is uncommon, appearing in only about 5% of the world's population, further highlighting the distinct energy of those who possess it. Their strength is rarely loud. Instead, it lives in the way they make decisions, the way they stand firm when circumstances shift, and the way their presence gives others a sense of direction. Metaphorically, the longer second toe is like a hidden compass, quiet, reliable, and always pointing toward growth. People with this mark learn to turn obstacles into opportunities, fear into determination, and experience into wisdom. Their path is not simply about personal victory. It is about embodying resilience so deeply that others feel steadier just by walking beside them. When many marks form one path, a single mark may hint at a soul's strength, but a constellation of signs, especially mirrored on both palms, reveals a spirit woven with profound purpose. Such souls are rare, like lantern bearers moving ahead on the path of awakening, illuminating the darkness for others even before they fully see it themselves. These souls have traversed lifetimes, cultivating wisdom, resilience, and compassion in the crucible of existence. They return not merely to settle karma, but to carry forward a mission, to guide, uplift, and stand as quiet anchors in a world often adrift. Life for them is a dance of fire and grace. They walk through the fiercest trials, bearing the heat of hardship, only to emerge tempered, luminous, and ready to support those who have yet to find their footing. Every challenge encountered in early life is a forge, shaping discernment, courage, and moral clarity. Hardship strengthens insight. Adversity sharpens understanding. The turbulence of the era, the injustices, the upheavals, the uncertainty, becomes the arena in which its purpose is revealed. Through each trial, the soul walks as one tempered by experience, emerging resilient, luminous, and ready to serve as an anchor for others navigating their own storms. The presence of multiple marks signals a life lived with intention and extraordinary depth. Each choice, each action, resonates with accumulated wisdom, offering guidance not through command, but through the quiet power of example. Even in moments of global uncertainty, such a soul becomes an anchor, a stabilizing presence, a source of clarity, a reminder that resilience, compassion, and courage endure. A soul with all 10 marks turns suffering into insight and insight into service. It does not flinch from adversity, but carries it forward, transformed as a living testament to its enduring strength, resilience, and purpose. Its life is an invitation to rise, to stand, and to walk through the fires of challenge, returning as a steadfast anchor whose light guides and steadies the paths of others. The doorway to your awakening. If these words reach you, pause and look closely at your palms, your toes, and the life you have walked. Perhaps you have always felt different, carrying burdens unseen by others. Perhaps your hands, your feet, or your spirit bear signs you once overlooked. Perhaps your journey has tested you, and you have asked why. You are marked not for suffering alone, but for growth, not to break, but to rise. The signs you carry whisper a story, one that began long before this lifetime and will continue beyond it. What matters is not the number of marks your palms hold, but whether your heart listens, whether your soul chooses compassion when the world offers cruelty, whether your inner light remains steady even when night falls. Sit quietly tonight. Look at your hands. Look at your scars. Look at your story. Every trial, every triumph, every quiet moment of courage has been part of a greater purpose your soul chose. Ask yourself softly, what has my soul come here to learn? And whom has my soul come here to guide? This question is a doorway, not a riddle to solve, but an invitation to awaken. You are not accidental. You are not forgotten. You are marked with purpose, with resilience, and with the quiet, steady light of a soul prepared to illuminate the paths of others. And know this: the second half of life holds its own extraordinary rewards. The virtues you have cultivated, compassion, courage, integrity, will bear fruit beyond expectation. Blessings, guidance, and opportunities will arrive with surprising timing, supporting your mission and honoring the path you have walked. Every hardship you endured, every act of love and integrity now manifests as strength, abundance, and fulfillment, allowing your soul not only to rise, but to shine as an anchor and beacon for all who follow. If this wisdom resonates with you, please like this video and subscribe to join us on the path of conscious living.